Hello, everyone. Welcome to the episode number 2 of SHAcast. And here we are again, this time with two guests. And these two are my classmates as well as friends. And actually, the two people I met on the very first day of my orientation. And why these two guests are coming on the show today? Because they both are not at all. I can say that they're not from hospitality business. They belong to a different background. And they're also not from Boston. One is from the West Coast. The other one is from the other city in Massachusetts, but not Boston. So we are going to get a lot of insights that people who are coming from the West Coast and people who are coming into the hospitality from different background, what are they going to, what thoughts do they have about hospitality and why did they join this specific school? But yes, these two guests are really, really close to me. What's up, Kayla? What's up, Grant? How are you guys?
Hello. What a
Doing
nice
good.
introduction.
Yeah.
I mean, nice introduction because I still remember the first day we guys met. I met Kayla on the very first day. I met Grant on the very first
Yep.
day. We were sitting in the lobby there on first floor and we started talking about, we added each other on Instagram and we were
Yeah.
talking about, okay,
Yeah.
I'm the graduate assistant to Dean. You are a graduate
Yep.
assistant, Kayla. And me and Grant were talking about content creation.
Yeah.
We were talking about Instagram Reels. We were talking about a lot of things, pictures and how it's going to be. You told me about the real estate journey and all. So the first question is directed towards Grant. Grant, how it's been in the east side of the US. You're from California,
Yes.
right? Go for
Yes.
it.
So, born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area. So, has definitely been a big switch kind of moving to Boston. I'd actually only been to the East Coast one time before moving here full time. So, I was actually visiting a friend who went to BU. And some of us from undergrad, we actually came here and just visited her for the week. We kind of like saw the city, visited BU. And that was really my intro to Boston University. And so I definitely have seen that there's a big difference between the West Coast and the East Coast. And some of the stereotypes about both are true. So people say that on the West Coast, people are very bubbly, very energetic, very almost like flamboyant, and they want to get to know you, talk to you. And here on the East Coast, people are a little bit colder, a little bit more kind of direct and straightforward. Not just socially, but also in business. And so I found that that's definitely true. On the East Coast, you're going to get people that are very, again, direct. They're raw. They're going to tell you how they feel. Where on the West Coast, people are very, they kind of sugarcoat their feelings, right? So they'll say something, but it'll be always in a nice way with a smile on their face. So that's one of the main things that I've seen as like a cultural difference between the West and East Coast.
Can I cut you down in the middle? Because, so in the last episode, in the first episode, Noah came in. And Noah mentioned about this West Coast and East Coast difference. And he
Yes.
said that, in the West Coast, people are nice, but they're not kind.
Yes.
In the East Coast, people are not kind. People are kind in the East Coast, but they're not nice. I mean, they'll be rude to you and all that. But do you think it's true?
After being here for almost 9 months, I would say that's true.
That's true.
Especially from people in kind of like Southern California, like the culture of Southern California, Los Angeles. Again, people are very bubbly, but they're not always going to help you. Whereas people on the East Coast, I definitely feel will help you, but like Noah said, they're going to be complaining about it the whole time. So definitely people are like very almost like intense here. Everyone from like Uber drivers, taxi drivers, people you see in like hospitality, so like waiters and waitresses. Definitely you can get kind of the cold shoulder sometimes, but but yeah.
Well, that's nice to know. Now you, Kayla, I want to know about you. Where are you from? Because since the beginning, I have been thinking that you are from New Hampshire.
I know, you're telling everyone I'm from New Hampshire.
You have no idea. Every professor who has asked me, okay, where is Kayla from? I'm like, New Hampshire.
All right.
But
so
I
I guess I'm from New Hampshire.
No, you're not.
No, this is breaking news live on the podcast. I'm not from New Hampshire. It's called North Andover. So it's a town like half an hour from Boston, 20 minutes from New Hampshire. So I'm kind of like right in the middle. It's like not too far from the beaches either. So I kind of have like a good mix of everything, like closer to New Hampshire if I wanted to go up to like the mountains, close to the city if I wanted, close to the beaches. So I like where I'm from. It's like a, typical town. yeah, so I've kind of had exposure to Boston my whole life. I definitely like resonate with the Boston culture a little bit. And I was so excited when Noah was saying that nice versus kind distinction because I've always like loved that distinction. And I definitely see that in myself, like when I'm traveling, like because I lived in Florida for a year, or like my brother used to live in North Carolina. So going to visit him, I could like see myself being like kind of that kind but not nice thing, like when I was at places. And kind of being like snappy. And I was like, why is everyone else not this way? Like, why are people taking their time? Why are they letting other people go in front of them when they're driving? Why are they kind of taking a really long time in the drive-through? Like, it was kind of like, I was not used to it not being.
You went to BC, right?
Yeah.
So you are familiar with Boston already.
Yeah.
How is it BC? And I want to know this thing, BC or BU, because sports teams are really, really competitive.
Can I
And
say that on the podcast?
are you sure?
It's BC.
Really?
I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean,
Grant, you still want to be friends with her?
I guess we'll keep her around.
We can keep her around, but you're a traitor.
I'm not cut off.
Traitor.
Only
Wait,
for hockey.
We beat them, right?
No, excuse you. BU lost last night in the Frozen Four. I'm sorry to the BU hockey team. You guys did great. It's impressive you made it that far. But BC is playing in the finals, so I'm rooting for BC. But I mean, I went there for 4 years.
Yeah.
So like, I'm BC at heart.
You know, there are 2 players in our school who played from our school,
I know.
from BU,
I
Case
know.
and Cade.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't say that. They might, just cancel you.
I might get canceled. No, it is very impressive. And like the BU hockey team is great. I think it's super impressive that they're able to do the program and play hockey. Like that
Yeah.
is incredible. I could never. But I mean, yeah, I'm an Eagle at heart.
Oh.
But I'm sorry.
You're pretty familiar with Boston. I can see that.
Yeah,
you
a little
have
bit,
that
a little
Boston
bit.
vibe with you. But okay, let's move towards your guys' background because we are in a hospitality school. We are doing this specific course, MMH, as I've mentioned before in the podcast as well, Masters of Management in Hospitality. And this course is majorly famous for 2 things. One, to re-enter into the hospitality industry, which I did, and also for someone who's new to this industry, who had a different background, just like Grant, you had a background in real estate, and Kayla, you had a background in neuroscience, right?
Yep.
And you have also worked in Florida,
Yep.
if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
Right? At Disney?
Yep. Disney World.
Yeah, that's where we all got connected, and that's what Professor Katz talk about in his class always,
Yep.
and you start
Yep.
smiling. But yeah, so I'm going to start with you, Grant, again. Real estate, okay?
Yeah.
And you have been working in real estate since a long time.
Yes.
And suddenly hospitality, coming to Boston from California, a totally, drastic change.
Yeah.
Why?
So it was definitely a big transition. So, like you said, I don't have a traditional hospitality background. Again, I've been working in real estate for close to 12 years at this point. So I kind of, a little bit of a backstory.
12 years?
Yeah. So I kind of started actually through my family business.
Oh, okay.
So
I
that was
got
kind
it.
of my first exposure to real estate. So my family owns a real estate business in California, where I'm from. And so they own single family residences all up and throughout California. And so we actually manage those properties in-house. So all the maintenance, all the renovations, everything that needed to be done with those properties, we would handle ourselves. And so kind of growing up, me and my brother, we were quickly kind of exposed to all the work that it takes to maintain a property. So everything from, like maintenance, like cutting the lawn, painting, changing the blinds. And then we also got to see the actual renovation process. So when one tenant would move out and another one would move in, you would do repairs, you would make updates to the property, you would change the design a little bit. And so we got to see those things from a very young age. And so helping in my family business was how I got that initial exposure into real estate. And I started doing that when I was in middle school. So kind of grew up, again, in and around real estate, and then kind of formalized that by getting my real estate license. So I worked for a brokerage called Keller Williams. And then ended up working for a construction management firm based out of San Francisco, and then kind of moved from residential to commercial properties. And so I was working mainly on office buildings, and so had a chance to kind of work with some hospitality teams.
So that's where the interest
Yeah.
came in, right?
Yeah, so I was building on behalf of those hospitality teams. So I built a cafe, an event center, and then a retail store. So I was working with those teams very closely on a day-to-day basis for several years. So I got to see kind of their process for designing experiences and just how much of a passion they had for like the food and beverage side or the event side. And that's what really kind of sparked my interest in hospitality. And so from then on, I decided that I wanted to kind of explore it more. And I really understood that it was an actual industry that you could work in. And so then I decided, I have this background in real estate, but there's also an opportunity within hospitality real estate, which I want to explore further. So then, obviously, because I had visited Boston before, I knew about BU and I had heard about the hospitality program. And so I just kind of...
How did you find about this course? Specifically MMH, because it's rare to find. We don't have a big class. We only have 45 students in our class, right? 45 students?
45.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we're small.
Yeah. I was actually looking at some of the other master's programs that they had here and kind of stumbled upon it, the MMH website. And so I knew that there weren't that many MMH programs in the United States. Hospitality really is, in my opinion, much more of a known field of study abroad. And so I honestly just kind of stumbled upon the website. Obviously, I'd known about BU, but saw the website, kind of saw what the curriculum was and thought this would be a really great way to build a foundation in hospitality and then kind of match that with my background in real estate.
got it. And we have real estate courses in our
Concentration.
this whole degree, right?
Yeah.
We have a real estate concentration as well. Are you doing that real estate concentration?
So I'm not doing the real estate concentration just because there are some other classes that I wanted to take. But I do know people that are doing the real estate concentration and they
Got it,
obviously really
got
enjoy
it.
it. So
Yeah.
Got it. That's a nice input. What about you, Kayla? What's your background? I want to know that because I just saw your post on LinkedIn related to neuroscience
Yep.
that you got certified in that.
Yep.
I know that you have worked in Disney and you go there a lot. Like you visit Disney a lot. Dude,
I am there a lot.
Grant would agree to this thing that watch her Instagram stories.
Yeah.
She's always at Disney. Always.
I'm all over the place. I
What's
am.
happening?
I have no problem booking a flight like on the fly. As soon as we find out, like there
She's
was
rich.
one.
She's rich.
No, I'm flying. Like
You are rich.
I'm getting deals, but
Really? How many deals do you get? Huh?
okay. But like seriously, there was like one class where like Grant had told me we didn't have class the following Monday or something, and like within like 20 minutes, I was like, all right, I'm going to Florida. Like I just booked a flight. But really, the flight's all I pay for because I still have friends that live down there. So I stay with them. So really, it's like I'm paying for the flight and that's it. Anyways, on to my background. So yes, I did neuroscience. I went into college. Really just like a science kid. I was pre-med. Again,
Pre-med?
yeah, I started pre-med.
I never
and
expected
biology.
that.
I know.
Biology.
Yeah, I was bio and pre-med. And then
Did you expect that?
I did not know that.
yeah.
Go for it.
I was doing all the labs. I did organic chemistry, all that. And then I took my first psychology class because it was part of, BC's core requirements, and I loved it. And I was like, I want to do that instead. So I switched over to neuroscience, and then I was like just super 100% invested in that. I was in like every psychology related club at BC. I worked for the Canine Cognition Center at BC, which is a research lab, for 3 years. Absolutely like amazing experience. I have nothing bad to say about them. Like completely shaped who I am. I loved it, but I'd always known just because I grew up going to Disney my whole life. And I just like loved, now looking back, I realize I love the hospitality of Disney and like the company and the resorts, but I could never pinpoint why I loved it. I just knew I loved it. And ever since I'd heard of the Disney College program, I knew that I wanted to do that. And really the only way to do that is if you're either currently in college or just graduated. So I knew no matter what, even though I'm in science, when I graduate, I need to do the Disney College program. So I went there, and the plan was that while I'm there, I would work there, get it out of my system, and then come home and go back to science. And
that didn't happen.
no, that did not happen. I was supposed to be there for 5 months. I changed it, and I was there for about 9 months. And then, I was supposed to be applying to jobs while I was there, like in the science-related fields. And I just wasn't. Like, I just was thinking, like, there's no way I'm going back home and not doing hospitality. And they offer courses and stuff, like micro courses with the program in, like, leadership and hospitality and human resources. And I took every single one. Like, I was in every single course they have to offer. There was, like, a 4-month period where I did not have a single day where I wasn't either working or doing a course. Like, I had no days off because I just loved it that much. And so when I got home, It was like pretty much July, and I was like, I need to figure out what there is to do in hospitality. And so then I started Googling. Like I didn't know if you could even study hospitality. I had no idea what I was doing. But I Googled and I saw BU, and I
You applied
grew
for
up
it.
around here. I knew that BU is a great school. I knew I'd be like upsetting my BC friends a little bit by being a traitor, but I applied, and here we are.
But wait, you mentioned July, right? So
Yeah.
you applied in August.
I applied
last
the
year.
very last day of the deadline.
Same.
Yeah.
For international students, the deadline was May 31st.
Yeah.
And I applied on May 31st. You also, I guess,
August
applied
1st.
Oh,
Well, because
oh my God.
at that point, I felt like I had to get the recommendation letters. And so I felt like I needed to give them, like even a month is kind of a short amount of time to ask people to write you letters. But I asked people, and they
You got
really
it.
pulled through. I got them in August 1st.
That's good.
and here we
That's
are.
good to know. Yeah,
Yeah.
When did you apply, Grant?
I applied the first week of May.
First week of
Yeah,
May.
May.
Oh, you're good to go.
Yeah,
Since
so
you're
I
a
had a
domestic
couple-
student, you're from the US.
Yeah.
For international students, the deadline date was last year, 31st of May. So I applied on the very last day, in the last hour. And my mom and dad told me, I've shared this thing in the very first episode as well, that they thought that I'm never going to get in. Here I am talking to you guys. And we are killing it, I guess.
I
But
say you guys are killing it for sure. Yeah.
are we?
Yeah. Even, talking about the real estate classes, Grant and I are in hotel development
Yeah.
together, which is one of the classes for
How's
the
that
real
class?
estate concentration. Grant is a superstar in that class.
Really?
And I'm so happy that he is as kind as he is, because he is so patient explaining things to me.
Grant
yeah.
is hot.
That's so
Grant is hot.
That's too kind. That's kind. But
Sometimes I feel that every time I see someone, I keep on just floating with them. I should not. I should not.
You are
Oh
a
my
flirty
God.
boy.
But yeah, Grant is hot.
Flirtatious.
Go for it. Tell me, how's the class and how you are the star of the class?
Oh my. No, but it's definitely a class that I was excited to see offered this semester. So I knew it. I wanted to take it immediately. Just kind of given my background in construction management, real estate development, I knew that this was kind of like merging hospitality and real estate. So I knew that I was going to be like the first person to sign up for that class. But basically, it's kind of structured based on case studies.
Okay.
And so we'll read a case study. It's a real estate deal. We'll see who the different people in the deal are, how it's being financed, kind of if there's any design considerations. And then basically we end up discussing the case in class and looking at kind of like a decision-making framework. So what decisions need to be made, who has the responsibility and the power to make those decisions. And yeah, that's kind of how each class is structured. So I really enjoy that. So yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite classes this semester.
That's good. How are you liking the class? Because that's a real estate class.
Yeah, it's
You were in neuroscience. You got into
Yeah.
hospitality, and now another one, real estate.
Yeah.
What is next? Are
I
you looking
don't
for my
think-
job now, like podcasting and all?
I think if you're interested in real estate, I think it's safe to say I will not be taking your job, because I don't think it's for me. But I am enjoying the class. Like, it's nothing against the class. It's really, I just don't think that's a good fit for me. But that's why I took it. I wanted to try it. Again, coming in, having no hospitality education or experience other than, the 9 months at Disney. I kind of just wanted to try a little bit of everything, and I knew I was interested in hotels, so that's why I took it. And I don't regret taking it, but I think it narrowed it down. I'm
Yeah.
not a real estate girl.
Yeah.
I got it.
And that actually is kind of like relates to something you were talking about in the first episode when you were talking with Noah about how even you studied hospitality in your undergrad.
Yeah.
And you didn't, like in India, hospitality didn't necessarily include organizational leadership and kind of like different classes like that. So I feel like even what hospitality means in different spaces, like it encompasses a lot more subtopics within it.
Definitely. I mentioned
Yeah.
about this thing that in India, if you're going to a hospitality school, the 4 core subjects are front office, food and beverage, food production, that is kitchen, and housekeeping. That's it. We get to study more subjects, but we're not focused on them.
Yeah.
We have to select out of these 4 concentrations, we have to select one in our final year, and we have to go and fetch jobs for that thing. But here in the US, I'm loving it because I'm getting to experience more. And also, In India, you have to, in hospitality schools, you have to wear your business suits every day.
Every day.
For 3 years,
Oh,
I
wow.
shaved my face every day. Can you imagine? And before coming here, we have Professor V with us. He's also from India. I called him. Like, I messaged him on LinkedIn and I asked him that, can I have a word with you? He gave me his number. We talked about it. And my first question to him was that, Professor V, how many suits do I need to bring? And he said, for what? I'm like, for school. Every day I need to wear suits and shaving and all that. He's like, dude, it's not India. Okay.
Wow.
You can wear anything here in the class until or unless it's not your gym outfit. I'm like, okay, fine. I got it. And I was so happy that finally I'm living my college life where you don't need to wear any, uniform or a business suit. So I was pretty happy with that. It's really different when it comes to education between the east side of the world and west side of the world. This is the west side. I'm from the east side, but yeah, definitely. But we're talking about studies. We're talking about fun, having fun. I want to ask this thing, since you both are in Boston. Boston is a student city, okay? Very well known, very famous for having fun for students,
Yep.
clubs and all. But studies are also important. How do you manage studies as well as having fun and going out, hanging out with your friends? Firstly, to you, Kayla, why? Because I know you stay really far from school. Like, it's a 30 to 40 minutes drive,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you travel from there. So how are you managing that? Are you liking that drive, or are you planning to move to Boston specifically for school or maybe for work?
I don't mind the drive. I find driving pretty therapeutic, so I actually enjoy the driving part of the day. So that's not an issue. As for the managing, school and home life and parties and all that, honestly, I wish I had better advice other than you kind of just do it. Like, you know what you have to do in each class. They tell you up front, what's expected, what's due. And I'd say, all of us are doing well in our classes and we all have a good social
You are a
life.
4.0 GPA.
Okay.
She has a 4.0 GPA.
Impressive.
You guys are, if you don't have 4.0, you're not far behind. But
Far behind.
Okay. In general, though, I feel like you kind of just, what's expected of you. And you just, you work around it. I wish I had better advice than that, but you kind of just figure it out as you go.
I see you partying a lot. Like, not partying, but you...
Exposed.
No. Dude, she was at karaoke last night, okay?
Oh, yeah.
One day-
I love karaoke.
And
I love karaoke.
I'm like, we were
Straight
talking
from
in-
class.
Yeah, we were talking in class. I was telling her that, I just cancelled my dinner because our class extended. Like, it went overtime. And she's like, I have my karaoke.
Thursday night karaoke is my favorite night of the week. I go straight from Professor Katz's class, straight to karaoke. But I know every week. I know, after I go to class, I know I have to get my work done for class, and then after class, I go to karaoke.
That's good.
If there's work to do for Friday, I wouldn't go to karaoke, but I just know. I don't.
No, I like that.
I plan ahead.
No, that's good. What about you, Grant? Studies, having fun, going out in Boston? Because I know you're a hot shot when it comes to going out.
I know.
You're, dude.
Calling me a going out person. Grant goes out.
Grant goes out, and Grant is very fashionable.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you meet him, you feel complexed. Okay, he's always like on top, always groomed, and here I am. I don't even trim my beard that enough. And this guy, he keeps himself so groomed, so well prepared for anything.
Yeah. No,
Tell me.
Grant, you're one of the most put together people that I know. I
Oh my
think,
God.
honestly.
100%. I look at him. I look at his hair. I'm like, I should do something with myself.
Yeah.
I was literally just talking to Kayla about this before
Yeah.
this. She was asking me like, Grant, how do you keep your hair like that?
We went through all the details of his hair routine, but even just the way you present yourself too, like you just always seem so like calm and collected and like
Yeah,
articulate,
yeah.
Which I like admire about
He
you
looks
because I
pretty
feel like I'm
experienced.
not that
Wait,
way.
how old are you?
Wow. This is slander.
Wow, that's a
No,
controversial
no.
question.
It is.
We need to cut that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut this part out. Today, well, let's just say I'm in my 20s.
He's 21.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Grant is
Yeah.
21. You're 21 years young. You
Yes.
say
Yeah.
that. No
Yes.
old, 21 years young.
21 years
Exactly.
Good,
Exactly.
good,
And that's
good.
kind of an inside joke for everybody watching.
young. Yeah,
And Devay, I specifically asked him not to ask me that question, and here we are. So,
this is a tell-all.
yeah, exactly.
Shaw
But yeah,
tell
we're getting
all.
real. But no, thank you guys. I appreciate the compliments. That's really nice. But in terms of kind of like how do I manage my time, manage my life, I'm big on kind of preparing and like looking ahead. So like Kayla mentioned, when you have your courses, the first thing that I do is look at the syllabus and look at what big projects there are. So I kind of look ahead and know what's going to be expected of me. I know when things are going to ramp up, when there's going to be a little bit of like a slow time as well. So I actually time block. So I look at my week and I use my Google Calendar. And basically what I'll do is I will set aside like 2 to 3 hours for each class the week before the assignment is due. And so then I'll do the assignments then. So for example, like if I know I have a discussion board due every Tuesday, a couple like the week before, I'll do it.
That
just so
is
it's
smart.
done.
That is smart.
Yeah.
And so I just have dedicated time each. So basically I do it so that it's one day, one subject, right? We have 4 courses. Some people have 5, but I'll just dedicate one day to one subject. And so that's how I kind of manage the work for that class. And I always do it the week before so that I'm not like rushing to do it at the last minute.
Right.
And then in terms of kind of like the social aspect of it, I think things are always going to come up, right? Someone's going to send you a text, hey, do you want to go to dinner? Do you want to go out? And I think that as long as I'm able to have a majority of my work done, I'm always going to take the opportunity to take those social opportunities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I love going out, love exploring restaurants, love it, like going out with you guys. You guys are super fun. And
Validated.
So, yeah.
Validated.
And I think that it's just like we have a limited amount of time here, right? We're
Right.
only at Shaw for a year and it goes by so quickly.
Dude,
I feel like we
trust
were
me.
just at
I know.
orientation and now we're gearing up for graduation.
It feels like yesterday, and we're almost there. Like we're left with only 2 weeks now,
Yeah.
and
It's crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm already missing school. Trust me, I'm already missing.
I'm
school.
gonna start crying if I think about it too hard. I'm gonna
But
miss everybody so much.
I know about Grant. Grant is a traitor. Why? I'm gonna tell you. But you are here in Boston in June, right?
June, yes.
My birthday is coming up. Okay, I'm telling you guys. You have to be in Boston. I know you're going back to California, but you have to be in
Wait,
Boston.
When's
I
your
don't
birthday?
care. You don't know that?
No.
Should
you
I
do you
cry?
know mine?
Okay, we can settle it. We can settle it.
All right, we're even.
June 9.
June 9th. Okay. I'm around, actually.
When's yours?
October 23rd.
That's not around. That's really far. Okay, you're around in Boston. Oh, I thought that your birthday is
Yeah.
like closer to mine.
No,
Okay, got
no.
it, got it.
I'm just saying, I don't know your birthday. You don't know mine, you know?
So we're good.
We're good.
We're good. We were there on your birthday, so I
Yeah.
remember.
Yep.
Yes,
We did.
fancy dinner.
Fantastic dinner.
Fancy
I
dinner.
like that.
one of
a
my
lot.
favorite restaurants, the
Yeah.
Atlantic Fish Co.
Yeah. But no, that's really good. That's really good.
Yeah.
But we've talked about the parties. We've talked about the studies. We've talked about the social groups. But how's SHA? How's the school? And what do you think about the friends we have made? I asked the same question to Noah as well because when you are
Yeah.
in your mid-20s and you're going to a grad school, you look forward to colleagues instead of friends. But I personally believe I came from a different country and we are very small when we talk about the number of students we have in our class. We are a very small group, 45 people. Everybody knows everybody.
Right.
So is there a specific group you call a bunch of people your friends, or you call everybody your colleagues? What do you call these people? Friends, colleagues, or anything else?
For sure, friends. For me. Yeah. Absolutely friends.
You have a girl gang group.
Yeah.
I mentioned about you
I know, I
in
heard.
our first podcast
I
that
heard.
we have a group. And Grant is also there in the group.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, I didn't mention your name.
Oh, you're fine.
But the thing was, you guys were coming up on the podcast. That's why I'm like, okay, Grant is coming, Kayla is coming.
Yeah.
These two people are one of my favorite people because we are talking since the beginning.
Yeah.
So who's your best friend? I want to know that from school.
My best friend?
Closest.
tough.
Let's see.
I don't have one person that's closest, I wouldn't say.
One closest person in Shaw for
I
you.
can't do that.
Come on, you can do that. I guess I know who it is.
You have a guess?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, I'm pretty close to Victoria.
Take
talk to her
one
a lot.
name. Take one
I
name.
have to only choose one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just
I
say
really
one.
don't
This
think
is
I
getting
can.
messy. That's messy.
I really don't think I can.
No?
No.
Take two. You
Who's
can
your
take two.
guess?
My guess was Marcy.
Marcy was another person I was going to say.
So Marcy and Victoria.
I feel like I probably text Victoria and Marcy the most, but in general, I feel like I'm pretty close to most people.
Yeah.
No,
Like
that's good.
I feel very grateful for like the friends that we have here, like the group that we have, even people I don't hang out with, like just passing by and having classes with them. I'm like it's just awesome. It's clear that everyone is like in a hospitality school. Like we're just so hospitable and everyone knows each other and we're all familiar with each other. And I'm just like really grateful for that because I didn't expect that coming in.
Yeah,
I thought I was
yeah.
gonna not have any friends, to be honest.
I get it. What about you, Grant? Who's your closest? I'm not saying that you have a priority list of friends. Don't be like that. But just tell me that. Yeah, I know it can be controversial on podcasts, and you might be
little bit.
thinking, "Oh God, what is happening?" But I just want to know that who's your go-to person at Shah? Everybody has one. So
We have well, like Kayla, I can't just say one person, but if I have to give like a shout out to like my 3 homies, it would definitely be like Tristan, Ernest, and Kenny.
I
think
knew
those
knew
are the,
that answer was coming.
I knew
three
that.
people-
I knew
too.
that answer was
Those
coming.
are the 3 people that I do hang out with the most.
Yeah.
But like you said, honestly, I consider most people in the program my like close friend.
Yeah.
Like we have a very unique cohort, and that like even some of the faculty have said that this 2024 cohort, is very close, especially compared to like years prior. So I think that we all just have this camaraderie, which like you said, I'm very grateful for. Even if you think about like when we first met each other, we were literally going out with each other the first week of
I
fall
remember,
semester.
yeah.
Remember we went to Scorpion?
We went to
Yeah.
Scorpion. That
Yeah.
night, I still remember. That was the best clubbing
Yeah.
night I've ever had in the US till now. That was in like first week.
Literally, it was the first
Yes.
weekend.
Yeah, first
we
weekend.
we danced our heart out.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Trust
Yeah.
me, guys. It was amazing. I remember me and Grant vibing, and we were like, I still have the video. It's on my Instagram.
Yeah, you
but
posted it.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Although a lot of people after that, "Divya, why did you post that video?" I'm like, just for fun.
Yeah, oh my
Just
god.
for fun.
I post a lot of random things on Instagram. I know, like, guys, people see that and they are like, "Oh, why is he posting so much?" But I like
Gotta
it.
capture the memories, you know?
Yeah,
Definitely.
we're young.
But definitely, you talked about friends, you talked about people, you talked about the studies, and especially at Shah. I can tell about my, friends that who are closest to me in the school. I mean, I'm closest to you guys as well.
Yeah.
But my go-to people, I've mentioned about them, Sean and Sameed, the
Yeah.
Shy Boys
Yeah.
Club. I've mentioned before as well. But there is a shout out to another person, Noah. Noah and I have been vibing together since
Right.
last 2 months, and I love talking to him. We vibe a lot. We have a lot in common when it comes to, career, and when it comes to hanging out, when it comes to drinks as well. He's a
Yeah.
beer guy, I'm a beer guy. But yeah, these 3 people, like I share a lot of things with these people.
Right.
Kayla knows about me a lot. We are ally.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I can't just choose one person because I feel like we have
Yeah.
such different relationships. Like, Grant's one of my favorite people at Shaw. You're one of my favorite people at Shaw. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, even though we don't hang out like one-on-one or anything, it's like I just feel like we have very different relationships with everyone. But overall, we are a very close cohort, like Grant was saying.
Yeah.
I got it. Kayla, you mentioned about student clubs. Back when you were in Boston College, you
Yep.
joined a lot of student clubs,
Yep.
right? What do you think about the opportunities we have at Shah? Like we have HSMAI, we have
Yeah.
other Boston clubs, Boston University clubs. What do you think about them? Have you joined any of the clubs? Are you engaging in other activities other than studies when it comes to Boston University or specifically our school, Shah? What do you think about that?
There definitely are opportunities. I am a member of HSMAI. So that's one that I took advantage of thanks to Professor Katz. He was the one, sort of recommending it. So I have a mentor through there. That's a great club. I'm not in any others at Shaw, honestly, but I know that they exist. There's the real estate club Grant
Yeah.
was just talking about. There's Shaw Gov. I know they do a lot. And I like seeing what they're involved in. I know they're throwing the gala and,
Yeah.
doing a lot
I was
of like
going to
social
mention
media.
about Gala. I was
Yeah.
going to mention about Gala.
Yeah, but really, I'm in HSMAI in school, and that's like really the extent of it. Other than that, it's kind of more of a social thing.
Nice.
Like when I come here, it's more for social reasons.
Talking about Gala, are you going to Gala?
I think I was probably the first person that bought a ticket to Gala.
You have bought the ticket as well?
The second I saw the email, I have been talking about Gala since I saw we had one in September.
Are you going to Gala?
I'm definitely going. Definitely going.
Damn. Are you guys taking any dates?
We'll have to wait and see. Maybe.
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah.
No, for real.
Surprise.
I wasn't planning on taking one though. I kind of just wanted to go hang out with everybody.
Exactly. We don't have to. We don't have to take any dates. We can go
Yeah.
all of us can go together as in one date. That's it.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
it. That's it. That's it. But are you excited for gala?
Super.
I am.
Dude,
Yeah.
so I had a word with one of the officials from our school, and they are announcing the grad speaker at gala.
Really?
Yes, and I don't know who else applied other than me and Noah.
Wow.
And I am nervous now because they had made it so big that we are announcing grad speaker at gala, and I'm like, why? You're making me more nervous.
Wow.
And I'm saying this on the podcast, on this episode. I want everybody to see it. I mean, it's just from my heart. If I don't get it, I really want Noah to get it.
Yeah.
I really wish, and I hope because me and Noah, we decided together that we are applying for it, and I hope that he also thinks alike. But I really wish that if I don't get it, I really want Noah to get it, or not anybody else, because
Yeah.
the bromance or anything. But yeah, definitely. But talking about you, Grant, since she mentioned about her things at Shah, what do you like the most about this school, and what do you think about MMH specifically? Because Masters of Management in Hospitality, and what do you think how it's gonna take you ahead? And when I asked you what do you like most about the school, I'm asking in the sense of education, in sense of your courses.
Yeah. So in terms of kind of the educational aspect of it, I would say one of the main benefits of MMH is just the variety of classes that you can take. So I would say like a word that kind of summarizes my experience in MMH is really exposure. So you really get exposed to a lot of different career paths within hospitality, a lot of different people within hospitality. There's also proximity to kind of like really well-known individuals in the industry. So, like, for example, we had the CEO of Panera Bread came and spoke to our class last semester in our leadership class, right? Niran Chandri. And so that was just an example of how you are able to interact with people who are very, very experienced in the industry. So I would definitely say, again, it's just kind of a variety of kind of like sub industries within hospitality that you can get exposure to, and then from there you can see which one kind of piques your interest the most.
I get it. I get it. That's really good, because I've heard that there's a new course upcoming, MS in real estate.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really helpful for those people who are coming from real estate background. They can, pursue instead of MMH or MSMH. We already have 2 grad programs, and now the third one is coming up, MS in real estate management. And I guess that's going to be really useful for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we have talked a lot about school. I really want to come back to our, friendly conversation. And there is one thing which I really want to know from both of you. I want you to tell, we'll go turn by turn, but first impression of each other. I know we
Oh.
3 met on the very first day
Yeah.
of
Oh,
school.
wow.
You remember? So I want the first impression from Kayla, from Grant, and I'll also give my first impression to both of you. So yeah.
All right.
Ladies
I'm ready.
first.
I got it.
Go for it.
I'm ready. I think about this all the time, actually.
Really?
Well, because you guys, again, were one of the first people I met at Shaw.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a moment that I actually told like so many of my friends about in my family, was in that first conversation we were having, you guys like both remembered my name and kept using it throughout the conversation. And then every time I saw you after that, like you would say my name again, you would like remember details about me. And I was just, it was like this moment of like, this really is like hospitality. Like these people are just people. And I thought that was really cool because, I mean, coming from neuroscience, not that people aren't hospitable, but that's definitely not like the focus, is to be like talking to each other and getting along right away and just chit-chatting off the bat. And especially like the remembering details about each other, that I was just like, this is really cool. And I think that was kind of just a general first impression of both of you. I didn't have like, I mean, I didn't specifically think like, oh, this about Grant or this about you, Devay. It was kind of more just like, these are just really like people that love to be around people and talk to people and have relationships. And I thought that was really cool.
Oh, I like that. What about you, Grant? Your first impression on me and Kayla? You can give.
Be honest.
Yeah, be honest. Brutally honest.
No, I remember specifically with Kayla, I remember her mentioning kind of her background in neuroscience, because obviously like that's the first thing that you ask somebody is like, what did you do before you came to Shaw? And I remember you saying that you studied neuroscience. And I remember like, oh, she's gonna be a genius. Like I was like, she's gonna be the one in the classes that's raising her hand, that's answering all the questions, that's gonna be like in the front row of every class. And I was like, oh yeah, she's gonna be the one to look out for. So that was definitely my first impression of Kayla. And then with DeVay, I was like, he's gonna be the class clown. He's going up. He literally, even at orientation, he was going up to everybody, speaking to everybody. He was so animated, and I was like, we literally just got into orientation 20 minutes ago, and he's like chatting it up with everybody. So I know that DeVay is gonna be kind of like the social butterfly, and I think has definitely been true throughout the course of these.
Can I give a better name to myself? No. I mean, I like social butterfly, but somebody called me. I have this golden retriever energy.
Golden retriever
Yeah,
energy.
okay.
Although they used it in a different way.
Yeah.
I don't know what context they used, that person, but they called me like I have this golden retriever energy. And it might come out as a turn off or a turn on, but yeah, I have a golden retriever energy, always energetic around people.
Yeah.
Dude, I love seeing people. And I love talking to them. You know me. You both know me.
Yeah.
I love talking to people. I'm a yapper, I guess. But my first impression to both of you, I'll start with Grant because my first impression on him was not from school. I saw his WhatsApp, profile, and he messaged everyone before coming to school that I'm looking for a roommate and this is it. I have this apartment. Anybody wants to share this, apartment with me? And I saw his display picture. That was one of the coolest pictures I've ever seen in my life. I mean, dude, fashion.
Now I
I
want to
was
see it.
thinking that I'm gonna be like in the bottom of this fashionista or something like that. I'm like, this guy is like top-notch fashionable. So I was ready for that. When I met him on the orientation day, I loved it because when you told me about the real estate and we directly got into the conversation, we were vibing, and I was not expecting that we would vibe together. Maybe I was not confident enough to vibe with anyone at that point of time, but as you said, social butterfly, golden retriever energy. We vibed on the very first day.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So I knew that we are gonna go long way ahead. About Kayla, we suddenly bumped into each other in the lobby.
Yep.
Because we both were waiting for the email or for the call up for this graduate assistant call.
Yep.
And we both shared about it. And then we eventually realized that we both are together assisting Dean. And that turned out to be a good decision for both of us. And I guess you're working differently with him. I'm working differently in a different manner with him. But that was my call that, okay, she's there and now we can be supportive to each other. Because when I was thinking about working for Dean or working for anyone in the school, I was not confident because I didn't know. I'm coming from a different country, how the work culture is here. And when I found you, I was relieved that at least somebody is there to help me out at how it's going to be. And then we added each other on Instagram and I was relieved.
Well,
So,
that's funny you mentioned that because I remember actually, I guess this is kind of a first impression. As soon as I saw your Instagram, I was like, wow, he's fancy. Like, this is a fancy
I get that a
man.
lot.
Yeah. And then I think as soon as I think I didn't follow you yet, but I stalked your Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Like after
She's a
orientation.
stalker.
And I mean, we've told you a million times, like you have the most beautiful content. So I think for both of you,
Yes.
I was kind of just like, they are so like,
Dude, we were
like
talking
fancy. Yeah. Like just like great at photography, like beautiful content curation. I was like intimidated.
I and Noah were talking about Grant's Instagram when we were in New York because you posted something from
York.
Paris. So just for the viewers, I want to tell that me and Noah went to New York trip for a field trip by our school. We got that opportunity. Grant went to Paris from our school. He got that opportunity and the field trip, and he posted a lot of content. And me and Noah, while having a beer at the bar, we were talking about, okay, Grant is posting this. I was kind of jealous because I wanted to go to Paris, but I couldn't get that chance. You went there, you were posting it, and me and Noah were like, dude, he's an influencer, and it's really good. The content he was putting out, amazing.
This is an advertisement for Grant's Instagram.
I know.
Everyone follow Grant.
Yeah.
Grant
Oh,
Kelly.
God.
Everybody, follow Grant, follow Kayla, follow me. Yeah, pretty aesthetic profiles, everything, and you get the BTS of this
Yes,
podcast
behind the
Yeah.
scenes. That's
on
true.
my profile. Yeah,
That's
definitely. We're gonna shoot videos after this podcast episode as well, so don't worry about
There's
that.
going to be a lot of bloopers for this episode.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As
But I
there
want to
should be.
ask you, Grant, since we mentioned about Paris trip,
Yeah.
and me and Noah talked about New York trip in the last podcast. Well, how was the Paris trip? And I want your point of view from as a student as well.
Yeah. So I think I was ecstatic when I got into the Paris trip. This was something that they literally mentioned, I think, like the first or second week of school, and something that I was looking forward to for months. So I was really grateful for the opportunity. It's nice because it was kind of a smaller group of students that went. I think there was like 12 students, so you really get a chance to know everybody over the course of the week. And it's a mix of graduate students and undergraduate students. So one of the things that I really appreciated was that you really get a chance to meet people that are very well known in the industry. So we had a chance to go to the Raffles property in Paris, which is beautiful. We had a chance to go to Plaza Athénée, which is a kind of like a luxury, ultra luxury hotel. We also visited the Champagne Resort and Spa, which was amazing. One of the nicest properties that I've been to. And just seeing the level of hospitality that they have in France and in Europe, just the operations is so detailed, and it's almost like they are able to anticipate your needs, anticipate any questions that you have, and they meet them beforehand. So I would just say that being able to see hospitality in action was really refreshing, and it provided a lot of context to what we're learning in school.
Did you get to network a lot?
We did. So we got a chance to, again, meet representatives from obviously all of the hotels that we went to. Even they were actually like asking us for like our emails and our resumes because some of them were hiring for internship positions. So there's definitely opportunities there as well.
Nice.
But great trip overall.
You mentioned about opportunities. I want to ask you guys, what are you guys looking for now? Like, firstly, I'll go to you, Kayla. What's ahead after MMH, after graduating? What's the plan? What do you want to do?
All right. Ideally, I want to go back to Florida.
You want to move back to Florida?
Yeah, so that's the goal right now. I'm looking for positions in Florida. I would love to get back with Disney. Kind of just waiting for like a position to open up there that I'm like super interested in. For now, I'm just kind of exploring other positions down there. I'm interested in the hotel space. I would love to do something with revenue management. Grant and I are both taking that revenue management course right now. So I'm looking at revenue management. I also love events, so really anything with like event planning are the kind of positions I'm looking at right now. But really, it's just applying. I mean, if I end up staying in Boston, that'll be wonderful too, because there are obviously a million different opportunities in Boston and amazing people up here and connections that we've made. But I really am wanting to get back down to Florida just for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't live my full time down there.
Got it. What about you, Grant? What are you looking for? What's your future plan after? I'm not asking like what are you gonna do after 10 years, but right after graduation, what are you looking for?
Yeah, so I'm definitely looking to go back into real estate. So I think I've kind of had my sights set on some of the bigger real estate companies in the U.S. So CBRE, JLL, Marcus & Millichap, kind of those big firms. So I really want to go into kind of hotel asset management.
I've been seeing JLL a lot. Like a lot of people are fetching for JLL.
Yeah, it's a great company to work for. And I've actually had an opportunity. I met somebody here who's a BU alum who actually is one of the directors at JLL now. So I reached out to him just on LinkedIn, and he got back to me and said that he would be happy to speak with me. And we had kind of like a coffee chat. And so I was just able to ask him about his journey, how he got into real estate, his experience entering the industry from BU. And it was just super informative. And he was literally so open and willing to chat with me. So I think tapping into the BU alumni network is something that everybody that comes here should do.
That's actually helpful because
Yeah.
I've been meeting a lot of alumni from BU, and they are helping me a lot. And their suggestions are really, really, insightful. So
Yeah.
definitely, I would also suggest everyone to, if they're coming to BU, get in contact, join all the groups from Boston University, because eventually it will help you out for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I'm happy to know that finally you are putting something into real estate from a different perspective,
Yeah.
like hospitality, and now getting into hospitality because people don't know this thing that real estate is one of the biggest parts of hospitality.
Yeah, and that's kind of something that like took me back a little bit. It's just it's so like real estate plays a huge role in hospitality because if you think about specifically hotels or restaurants, kind of the built environment plays a huge role in creating the ambiance that you need to operate like a successful hotel or a restaurant. And so I think that there's also from like a design perspective, if you have inefficiencies in your real estate design, that has consequences on operations. So if you have like a restaurant, for example, if the kitchen is on the other side of the building as the dining room, you're gonna have people walking back and forth, and they're gonna be spilling stuff, and so I just feel like there has to be some consideration for how the building and the space is laid out when you look at the operation of a hospitality business.
Right.
Okay. I have another question, a follow up question to this thing, to both of you. What do you think about the career services we are getting from school? I know you both are domestic students.
Yep.
Your work culture is different as compared to ours because we have to go through CPT. As an international student, I have to go through CPT, then OPT. But you guys are graduating right after 9 months in May.
Yep.
And you're going to go and fetch some work or jobs in your companies, whatever you're looking for. So how is SHA Career Services, our school's career services, helping you out? And I want to ask you, Kayla, did it help you out till now? And are you getting good response out of it or not?
Honestly, I haven't really utilized them as much as I probably should be. I mean, I know they're always there. I've gone to them with questions. I took advantage. They have, like LinkedIn help, resume support.
Yeah.
So I took advantage of those opportunities, which was fantastic, especially, shifting over again from science. People are looking for different things in a resume and a LinkedIn profile. I didn't really even have a LinkedIn before coming here, and now that's like one of my favorite websites. Unfortunately, I'm on there all the time.
Trust me, you have to change your favorite social media app from Instagram or TikTok to LinkedIn.
It pretty much is at this
Yes.
point. Like
Yes.
I
Yeah.
check it all the time. And so definitely they've been great for that. The career fair that they threw was I think a huge success,
Yeah.
super valuable. I didn't like necessarily, like get any positions from that or anything like that, but just like having that experience of like talking to people and that exposure to different companies, I think is so valuable. On top of career services though, I just want to say like in general, I think something that's great about SHA is just how many connections they have. Grant was just talking about the alumni network, but even just in our classes, specifically in branding and marketing with Professor Katz, and then in hospitality operations with Professor Martin, every single week there was a guest speaker. And all
Yeah.
of those guest speakers like have such a variety of experiences and places that they work. And it's just so cool to have such exposure to all of these different people. And so I think any advice to incoming SHA students or people at SHA right now is just like talk to everyone.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid. Any guest
Network.
speaker coming in, network. And it can seem like a scary thing, but it's really just a conversation. Add them on LinkedIn. Don't be afraid to like put yourself out there and talk to them because they're here for you. And I think that's so cool about SHA.
If I have learned one thing in last 9 months, being here at SHA is market yourself. Don't hesitate in marketing yourself, because if you're not putting out yourself in the world in front of everyone on LinkedIn, on Instagram, or on any social media app, market yourself because people are looking at you here. If you're not marketing yourself, they're not gonna hire you. They're not gonna be in touch with you. Message them, just greet them, talk about their life, talk about your life to them, and just do it. But yeah, what about you, Grant? Are you getting like enough connections through SHA career services or guest speakers? As Kayla mentioned, Noah also mentioned in the previous podcast that guest speakers have helped him a lot. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that guest speakers, honestly, and like I mentioned, just the proximity to them that you can get, it has been one of my favorite things about SHA. You really do get a chance to see different careers within hospitality, which I appreciate. And I think that it's also, again, like you said, it's a great opportunity to network because a lot of the companies that they work for are hiring. They're specifically looking for interns or kind of like, entry-level positions. And those are great for people like us that are looking for jobs at this point. So I have definitely connected with a lot of the guest speakers on LinkedIn. I actually, Kayla mentioned the career fair, and I actually just got an offer an hour ago before this before this call.
Congratulations.
For a full-time position, and that was actually through somebody that I met at the career fair. So just goes to show that those connections are vital for your success, especially post-grad.
That's lovely to know. I'm happy that we all are getting enough career services and enough opportunities. Sometimes it can get hard, but don't lose hope. That's what I can say. I have been facing problems as well. I've been facing rejections as well, but I have been getting more opportunities as well. And I guess that's the case with all of us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you have to be active too,
Yes.
right? I mean, the resources are there, but you have to actively go seek them out.
keep checking in. That's what I'll say. Keep checking in. Keep checking in. But yes, moving towards the next segment, we have talked a lot about studies, like how SHA is helping us out. But I want to talk more about professors now. Okay.
Oh boy. Okay.
So, who's your favorite professor, Kayla?
Professor
Favorite
Katz.
professor? Come on, really?
Yeah, I promise I'm not copying Noah's answer. My answer really is Professor Katz.
Dude, Professor Katz has been, he hasn't been to the podcast yet, but we have been branding him a lot, like marketing him a lot. Every podcast, Professor Katz is there. What is the special thing about him? Tell me that.
I think it's just so obvious to anyone that he interacts with, just like how much he cares. Like he truly believes everything he is teaching. He truly believes in just like the core values of hospitality. And I feel like it's just really rare to find someone and like meet someone that truly loves what they're doing, loves sharing with other people. I feel like he's just a very like open person, very personable. And yeah, I mean, it really is just how much he cares. He's at everything.
Yeah.
So it's like there's not a single SHA event, a single SHA like offering that he's not at, and he's just not like present and being involved in. And I think that's just really rare and cool.
That's amazing because I have been hearing about Professor Katz since a very, very long time. Everybody has a lot of good things about him, even I have, and he has helped me out. He has helped everyone out, specifically with studies, with job opportunities. But yeah, he's really, really good. He's everywhere at SHA
Everywhere.
or every event. You name it, Professor Katz is there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
Grant,
sorry.
no, go ahead. You were
Well,
saying something.
It's not just that he's here. It's like he's present too. It's like he doesn't just walk by the grad lounge and we see him. It's like every time he walks by, he pops in and asks how we're doing. He cares about our lives, and I feel like I can be completely like candid with him and tell him, what I think is working, what I don't think is working, and I feel like he respects all of us. And that's not saying that the other professors don't, but I just feel like he has that special like connection to SHA that really makes him stand out.
For sure. What about you, Grant? Who's your favorite professor?
Ooh, this one, I would definitely say our digital marketing professor, Professor Seth.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
he is-
I was not expecting that answer
Really?
from you. Yeah. Inside joke.
So he is definitely somebody who is very engaging. He's just very charismatic. And so I think that when you bring that energy to class, it really is contagious and it makes you want to be there. So I feel like this semester, at least, that's been the class where I've learned the most and that I'm actually looking forward to going on that class. So I definitely feel like the class is also very structured. So he will literally make it very clear what you're supposed to be learning. And he does a great job of kind of explaining how this topic or how this subject applies to his everyday life as well, as someone who is a marketing professional. So yeah, definitely my favorite professor thus far.
Damn. Well, to be honest, his energy in the class, oh my God, the way he, takes away the class. You're not in that
No,
class,
I'm
right?
not in it.
Digital
I'm kind
marketing.
of jealous. I'm FOMO.
Dude, I'm telling you, the way he enters into the class and the moment he starts talking, oh my God, I'm just like, hi,
Yeah.
professor. That's it. I'm crushing over him. Dude, the way he speaks, I love public speaking and I kind of see him as an inspiration because I'm not, buttering him up, but he's really good at grabbing people's attention in the class.
Yeah.
Like nobody can sleep in his class at all.
Yeah.
He's a good, public speaker. He's good with his hands, like, the movements and all, brain mapping techniques. He knows how to do it. And with his slides, the way he teaches, it's really, really nice. You've mentioned about Professor Seth. You mentioned about Professor Katz. If I talk about my favorite professor, definitely Professor Katz has been my favorite. But I really want to give a shout out to Professor Jung as well. Sean
Oh,
Jung.
yeah.
I'm taking his course, financial reporting, this semester as well. Pretty hard, trust me. The midterm was really, really tough.
Yeah.
But okay, I knew it from before. My love for finance and numbers. So I'm like, okay, that's okay. I'll improve. But I still remember in the fall semester, I used to share ideas with him, and he used to give me like more enhanced ideas, much better versions of them, and he is really knowledgeable.
Yeah.
He knows a lot
yeah.
about the business. When you talk to him about numbers, finance, you give him an idea, he'll give you out something really amazing.
Right.
So Professor Jung, when it comes to situations like building a business, I'm going to him. I shared one scenario with him about my family business. He attached hospitality with it and gave me a new startup. I'm like,
Wow.
dude. And I always talk about this thing with everyone, that Professor Jung can give you like 100 different ideas to start a new business, and he's really, really good. His courses can be difficult, but the way he teaches us, and he also gives out the recordings, so that is really, really good. But yeah, I really like the classes, the way he teaches and the way he explains everything. But it's really, really good. Okay, I want to ask this one thing. Now we have talked about the professors. I want to come out to students. Who inspires you the most when it comes to students? Or maybe, I'm not saying a healthy competition, you can say that. Or maybe someone you really look up to that, I really want to I want to do something like him or her or anything. Who is that one person who makes you feel that I want to do this as well, and I want to do this with that much hard work? Who's that one person for you in school?
Honestly, Grant.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Nice. Okay, give it to me more.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know if I said it on the podcast or when we were talking before, but you are just very like calm and collected and articulate all the time. And I've always admired that about you. And you do that while being like super relatable and personable, which is such a cool balance to have. And then on top of that, you are just so like intelligent and smart. And I feel like you're always teaching me things.
He is intelligent.
And I mean, we've joked about this for like months. Like Grant is my teacher. I mean, we for the Secret Santa, Grant had me and he bought me a book on personal finance because Grant is always teaching me like just adult things that I don't understand, but Grant is like an expert at it. And so I look up to Grant.
Nice.
That's
What
so
about you,
kind.
Grant?
That's
What
so
about-
nice. I appreciate that, Kayla. You're my favorite person. We were literally talking
I
about
just
this
got
before.
brownie points.
Yeah, we were literally talking about this before the podcast.
Brownie points.
Yeah.
We were talking about this before. We were like, Kayla, we need to create our own podcast just because like the
We're gonna
conversation
compete.
conversation we were having before this was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
But that's not the appropriate conversation for this podcast, I guess.
Absolutely not.
Okay, who inspires you the most or who pushes you the most? You don't have to name Kayla just
No,
because
don't
Kayla
say me.
named you.
Don't say me.
But you can say anybody else as well in the school. Go for it.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Enrique.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
that guy is
Very
amazing.
calm, very calm, very collected. He's also has a background in real estate, and so like we've had conversations about real estate. We both have worked as construction project managers, and he was kind of telling me how he was moving from doing some development work to more of like the F&B side. And so I think just having that similar background, I really appreciate and kind of understand where he's coming from. But he's also just a really cool guy to be around. Like anytime you talk with Enrique, he's always in a good mood, and yeah, he's just personable guy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Enrique.
I've never had that much conversations with him, but I mean, we have talked a bit. But he is really smart.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
sharp.
I like him. I like him a lot. If I talk about one person who inspires me the most at Shaw, a student, I mean, apart from myself. Sorry.
Self-love.
I'm like that.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
now people will say you're a narcissist.
No,
No,
it's self-love. You got to
Uh,
believe in yourself.
Nah,
You're
but yeah,
Confidence is
I always say, even in parties when we meet, Grant goes like this, that the way, how are you? I'm like, I'm sexy. And he's like, dude, I need this confidence.
Yeah.
Even Campbell always says that dude, how do you say
Yeah.
that? I don't care. I am sexy.
I'm
That's
sexy
it.
and I know it. It's just-
like,
that's your song.
hello.
That's your theme
Exactly.
song.
That's gonna
I
be your
am
theme
sexy
song.
and I know it.
Play it when you walk in a room.
Yeah, definitely. But the person I really look up to, like a student I really look up to at Shaw, I want to take two names. One is Sameed. Definitely.
yeah. Okay.
He is really talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he makes music. He is from engineering background. He was a chef. And dude, Sameed's cooking is amazing. Amazing. He's really good. And other than that, he's all over the place, like his digital marketing, graphic designing. He inspires me a lot to do more and more stuff every day. So yeah, for that reason, yes. The other person I really look up to is Victoria a lot. Victoria is one of the people. She's very active with her connections. She is super intelligent, super smart when it comes to people. She can be competitive, but a healthy competition, and I really like that about her. And she's really nice. We talk a lot. Me and
Yeah.
Victoria, we bonded over since the beginning of our school. And yeah, well, I mean, I love to hang out with her. We usually have pre-games before parties at her place.
Yep.
So yeah.
And she's
Victoria's the
always
host.
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
She's always nice with us. So yeah, Victoria and Sameed for me. So these are the two
Nice.
people I mean, I
Yeah.
love you guys, but if I talk about the inspiration or who pushes me more to perform better in class, definitely like Sameed and Victoria
How
are there.
dare you not
I
say
know. No
me?
shade. No shade.
Just kidding.
Are you mad at me?
Obviously not.
Please don't be
I'm
mad
just,
at me.
I think
okay?
if you said me, I would have been like confused.
No. Okay, coming towards
jokes.
coming back to school for the upcoming students, I have a specific question to both of you.
Okay.
Since Grant, since you are from the West Coast, California, okay, and I have a story related to California which I need to tell you.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, but before that, I want to ask you, what advice would you give someone who is coming from the West Coast? Because I know you miss California a lot, and you want to move back there, and you want to work there. You miss your friends, your high school friends, your college friends. But what advice would you give any person, any student who's coming from California to Boston or maybe New York or to east side of the U.S.?
Yeah, I would say definitely kind of expect there to be a little bit of a cultural difference in terms of how people interact and engage. So on the West Coast, kind of like I mentioned earlier, people are very bubbly, very energetic. And on the East Coast, people are just a little bit more direct, but don't take that personally. I think just don't let that kind of put you off or let that be kind of like a turn off. I think that's just how people communicate here. And just to kind of know that coming into the move would have been like great advice that I wish I would have had when I moved here.
Okay, that should be nice. That should be nice because I personally believe that people face a lot of challenges when there are cultural differences, and also US is so big that you move from west side to east side or east side to west side, you'll see a totally different person
Yeah.
right in front of you. And I have seen that, people talking to me about it, and I'm like, okay, this is a really big difference for these people. And yeah, I agree with you on this thing. But with you, Kayla, you're from east side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know Boston, you have lived here, you
Yeah.
have been to school here. But what advice would you give to someone who's coming from, a different background when it comes to, different background professionally, like coming from neuroscience or any other background? What would you tell someone if they're joining hospitality as their new career path? What do you want to say to them?
All right. I would say, honestly, just let yourself be vulnerable. Even if it's a little bit uncomfortable at times, even if you don't know if you have the right answer or if you're saying the right thing, just be open to talking to people, be open to learning, participate. And I mean, it's going back to what I was saying about talking to guest speakers, but that was one thing that I really made a goal for myself coming in, because back when I was in neuroscience, I was never the one to talk in class, which is complete opposite of how I am now. Now I am chatterbox, can't get me to stop raising my hand, probably to the level of being too much. I probably am talking too much. But I think absolutely this is a great environment for you to feel comfortable doing that. And we were learning about it actually in Professor Curry's class last semester about psychological safety. So sneak peek if you take, I think you all will take that class. I would say SHA is a very psychological safe environment, meaning it's a good place to share your thoughts and really just express your opinions and express your just participate, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
talk to everybody. There's so many cool people here. People of
Yes.
such diverse backgrounds. No, just don't like close yourself off to any
You
of that.
mentioned about Shaw and how friendly it is.
Yeah.
I want to mention this thing because I'm taking one course at Questrom, so I'm also studying at Questrom, and there's a big difference. Definitely, there's a big difference when it comes to Shaw and Questrom. I'm not dissing any school; both are fantastic schools, but I love it here at Shaw. Shaw is hospitality school, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
More friendly. Professors are like friends to you, okay? And they help you out so much. Even at Questrom, they help you out a lot. I'm studying this one course there. The professor helps me out a lot. But still, the friendliness we have at Shaw, everybody tells that to me. Anybody who's coming from Questrom here to our school, they study here for a course or from any school if they're coming to our school at Shaw. They're like, oh, you people are so nice. Even the professors are so friendly. And I feel that's what hospitality it is.
Right.
Creating an unforgettable experience for students, for guests, and for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is the first time I've ever gone to office hours. Like, I've gone to office hours more like the first month at Shaw than I had the entire 4 years at undergrad. And again, it's just they're so like relatable and personable that you just feel open doing that kind of thing.
I got it. But yeah. So we have talked about school. Now
Yep.
going back to Boston life now. As a student, I want to ask you guys, you go out a lot, both
Yep.
of you, okay? What's your favorite club? What's your favorite club? I want to know that.
I would say either Scorpion or Memoir at
Oh.
the Encore Casino.
I
Yeah.
like Memoir.
Yeah.
Really? What's
Yeah.
your favorite club?
All right, so we go to Lansdowne the most. So like naturally
Yes.
that one has kind of a BU feel to it.
Yeah.
My favorite overall though, like bar club in Boston is Dee's Keys, which we've
Oh.
never been to as a group, so maybe we should.
Yeah, we should go.
We
it's
should go.
It's a dueling piano bar, and it's super fun because I love like live music, and it's just like a really fun atmosphere in there. So that's actually my favorite. But Lansdowne has that BU vibe to it because we go all the time.
We go to Lansdowne a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. But definitely we should go out and, try a new club which you mentioned.
Yeah.
What about the restaurants? Favorite restaurant, Kayla?
Ooh,
For food, I want to know. What's your favorite cuisine? Tell me that first.
I like seafood.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, seafood, which is such a New England answer. I'm like really making myself known as a like yeah. So yeah, I like seafood a lot. I think my favorite restaurant, the one that I've tried most recently that was my favorite, is probably Eastern Standard, which is where Noah
wow,
works.
yeah.
We went to visit
Damn.
Noah, and I was really impressed by their food.
How is Noah there?
Everyone loves Noah. Oh, how was Noah as a waiter?
I thought, yeah.
I think him as a person. In general, everyone loves Noah, but as a waiter, he was a great waiter. Yeah, it was a good experience.
Yeah, I've heard about him. People always praise him
Yeah.
when it comes to work ethics and all.
Yeah.
But no, this podcast is not about Noah. We have talked about him enough. Noah, I'm so sorry, but yeah, it's enough.
He's had
it's
his
high
time.
Yeah, you've had your time. Okay, we're done. What about you, Grant? What's your favorite restaurant? Favorite cuisine first? I want to know that.
You know what? I'm actually gonna have to copy Kayla on this one. I would say seafood.
You're a big fan for seafood. I
seafood,
remember
yeah.
for your birthday, we went to a seafood restaurant.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's one of my favorite restaurants here, Atlantic Fish Co., which is in Prudential. And then also Buttermilk and Bourbon. So they have kind of like a southern cuisine. Like I'm from a southern family, so I love southern food. And they kind of have like this southern inspired menu. So Buttermilk and Bourbon, they have a couple locations. But that's been one that I really enjoy as well.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Being an Indian, I can say this thing that Indian cuisine is my favorite, and usually a lot of people here in the US, like Noah's favorite cuisine was Indian. But I mean, keeping aside Indian, I really want to say this thing. I've been trying a lot of cuisines here in Boston because you get to see, since US is so diverse in culture, you get to see a lot of cuisines at one place. And I tried African cuisine, recently, and Nigerian specifically. It was amazing.
Really?
It was amazing. I've been, having this thing regularly now, and it has been amazing. Other than that, I'm also liking Korean cuisine. I don't know whether it's a Korean cuisine or Asian cuisine, but it is really, really amazing. Because back in India, it was more like Indo-Chinese when it comes to Asian cuisine. But here I am getting to experience more like hot pot, things like these. I like it. I really, really like it. But yeah, we have talked about food, so we cannot skip talking about the drinks. What's your favorite drink? Are you a beer person or are you
No.
like something else?
No, I'll
Go for it.
typically go for like a cocktail or wine.
You are fancy. I'm telling
He's
you.
a fancy.
You
Yeah.
are fancy.
For cocktails, I'll usually keep it simple. I'll usually go for like a margarita. Sometimes I'll switch out the tequila for like mezcal. And I think that maybe that's because I'm from California. We have like a huge Latin influence in California. So I would just say like a simple margarita. And then if I'm ordering wine, like I'll just have Ernest order for me.
Honest is
Yeah.
a biggie
Yeah.
when it comes to drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Honest knows what he's drinking. I remember he was with me in New York. He was telling me about this wine shop specifically.
Yes.
Like this best wine. I want to buy it from there, only there, nowhere else. I'm like, okay, he knows his
He
drink.
knows his stuff.
Yeah.
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 So
shout out to
you're a
Ernest.
cocktail guy. Shout out to Honest. Yes, definitely. So you're a cocktail guy.
Absolutely.
Right.
Especially if they have like house cocktails. I'll definitely try like one of their house cocktails.
Nice. What about you, Kayla? What do you like?
My answer's a lot less like cultured. I feel like Ernest and Grant have actually taught me a lot about like alcohol, like with the wines and the cocktails. They've taught me a lot about the fine dining space. My favorite drink go-to is a Down East, which is
Okay.
a Boston-based cider. So that's usually what I get. Like most of the bars around here will have it on tap and everything.
I like ciders. I like ciders.
Yeah.
It's similar to Angry Orchard, but that's usually
Oh,
what I
yeah.
go to. Is Down East. If I were to have like a hard liquor drink, I'm also a margarita fan. So tequila, I guess.
Okay. Nice. Okay. We're good to go. We're good to go with this. But yeah. Yeah, we can talk about drinks. We can talk about food. But yeah, moving to the next segment of our podcast. And we're almost at the end of our podcast. And I guess it's been more than an hour we have been
Has it
talking.
really?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's been
Oh,
more
wow.
Dude, I'm telling you, professors are gonna kill me
I know.
because even the last podcast it was hour and 17 minutes. This is almost like more than that, I guess. And I don't know who's gonna watch this thing, but definitely I want to talk to before our rapid fire round. I want to talk to this. I want to play this one more game about awards night. It's gonna happen. In our gala night as well, or maybe in grad school, in our graduation, on our graduation day as well.
Okay.
But I want to talk about. I'll give out some few words to you guys,
Okay.
and you have to name one person from
Oh.
our school, a
Okay.
student, and you can say anyone's name. Don't
Alright.
worry about it, and no hard feelings to anyone who's watching it and who's listening to it. It's just a fun game.
I'm nervous.
No, you don't have to be. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
Yeah.
fun.
All right, we're ready. Let's do
So
it.
yeah, we can go. Like I'm gonna say the word, and Grant can go first, and you can go second. And the second word will be you will be going first, and
Okay.
Grant will go
All right.
second.
We got a system.
Yes, yes. So the first question, the first word I'll say is the most energetic person at SHA.
Honestly,
Student. Yeah.
you. Devay. Energetic. You're the first person I would think of.
Okay.
If I think of somebody that constantly has a high level of energy,
Yeah.
I would say Devay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
What about you,
Well, I don't want to copy you. I'll say Sean.
Sean?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's just
nice.
always here, always chatting.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
here, always talking to someone,
Yeah.
and always sitting in the grad
Yeah.
lounge for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I get it. So the most energetic goes to me and Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I wanna ask you who's the most quiet, like most silent person at Shaw. Come on, Kayla, give it to me.
Most
According to
silent-
you,
we're all yappers.
are we?
Silent person.
What do you think? Take one name. Come on.
You know, in our little cohort, I'd say Samid's a little bit quieter. At least for me. Him and I don't chit chat as much.
Okay. What do you think about that?
That's a tough one. The most quiet. Honestly, I feel like especially we're in the grad lounge, we're all
Yeah.
talking.
But there would be one person who you think that the most silent
It's a
person.
little quiet.
Do you have anyone in your mind? If you don't have, it's okay.
Honestly, within our extended group, nobody's quiet.
Yeah.
No, definitely. We all are yappers.
Like, even saying Samid was a reach. It's not just because I talked to him probably the least, but he's not necessarily quiet.
And also, he doesn't have many classes this
Yeah.
semester at Shaw.
Yeah.
He's taking different courses in different schools, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We're all chatterboxes though. We all yap.
We all, yeah.
We're a loud group.
But it's okay. Okay, what do you think? Who's the most creative person when it comes to
creative.
Yeah, like
Creative.
I
who
would
gives
say,
you that vibe?
I would say a tie between Ebby and Sameed.
Abby and Sameed.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sameed, like you
Yeah.
said, he has a lot of different like artistic like capabilities, right? From music to like graphic design. And Ebby, obviously, she has a master's in graphic design, so
Yeah.
her creative side is amazing. Like anytime someone is doing a presentation or like putting together a slide deck, they're always gonna go to Ebby to help.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say
Always.
a tie between those two.
Got it. What do you think about that?
Again, I don't want to copy Grant, so I'm gonna say maybe Mimi.
Mimi?
Yeah, I feel like well, 'cause
Nice.
less creative in like the artistic aspect. Not that she's not artistic, but just like in general, I feel like she's always doing different things.
Yeah.
Like she's just like so outside of the box, like with everything.
I got it. Okay, next question can be a bit controversial.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, who do you think is generalized? I'm asking you not specific professor, but who is that one person who is the favorite for every professor? Like generalize that. Professor's favorite person, favorite student, according to you. Who is that in our school, in our batch?
Maybe Victoria.
Victoria. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like you were saying, she's really good with like networking and like
She
she's
is.
always putting herself out there. So I feel like she's definitely like a known figure in the classroom.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody knows Victoria.
Everyone knows Victoria, right?
Without a doubt. What do you think
I would
about
have to agree. Victoria.
Yeah.
Victoria?
Every single class that I've had with her, like the professor knows who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's very active in class. Like she
Right.
participates, always raising her hand, always sharing her perspective.
Super smart. Like
Yeah.
it's easier for her to stand out.
Yeah,
Nice,
for sure.
nice.
Victoria.
Okay. One person who is very bad at keeping secrets. I want to know that.
Very bad at keeping secrets.
I'm going to answer that too.
Oh, okay. Well, it has to go to Tristan.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I would just say Tristan. We're going to leave it at that.
Yeah,
We're not going to say
Tristan.
anything incriminating. But
You're good. You're
Yeah.
good. What about you, Kayla?
Maybe Marcy. All love to you, Marcy, if you're listening.
God.
But we're gossipers. Our girl group, we like to gossip, but I feel like Marcy usually has the most.
Can I take a name now?
yeah, go ahead.
She's going to kill me, but Kayla.
What? All right. I'll own that actually. I'll own that. I love to
I
chit
told
chat.
you
I
I
love to
don't.
gossip. I won't even fight it.
Okay, who's the most gossip girl then? Not gossip girl.
Gossip girl?
No. Gossip guy, gossip girl. Who do you think is the most gossiping person at Shaw? I want to know that now. Other than Marcy now, because you've mentioned about her and you. But yeah, who's the most gossiping person at Shaw?
I would say her or me.
No, other than you guys.
Other than us two?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe outside of our group, I want to say Joe.
Really?
Not gossipy, not gossipy, but Joe just cracks me up because she is so open with like sharing exactly what she's thinking. So it's not necessarily gossip. It's more like we'll be in our hospitality analytics class and like Mabel will ask Professor Mabel will ask, how we doing? Like, and Joe will just like in front of the entire class be like, today's been a horrible day. Like, can we go on a break, please? Like, she cracks me up. So not that it's gossip, but she is just so like out there and open and willing to share exactly what is going on. That maybe her.
I got it.
That's such a great answer. No, I have Joe in a couple of my groups, and she's hilarious.
Yeah.
When you talk about like candor and literally just being an open book, it's Joe.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
What do you think about the most gossiping person at Shaw?
You know what? Based on some of the conversations that we've had, I'm gonna say Wendy.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's like sly, but when I tell you, I've never been around somebody that's so funny.
She is
Wendy
funny.
is hilarious.
Yes.
So shout out to Wendy. Yeah.
I love Wendy. Like when we talk, she knows me. She knows a lot of things about. She knows a lot of things about me, and she's amazing.
Yeah,
I
Wendy's
love to hang out with her. I love to. And when I say gossiping, it means in a good way. We're not dissing anyone. Even Joe and Wendy, we all love you. But yeah, definitely, Wendy's amazing. Really, really amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. And I guess this is enough for the awards thing. Let's move to the last segment
right.
of our podcast. That is a rapid fire round related to our school.
Okay.
And the first question I want to ask you guys, what is that one word like which comes to your mind when I say this one thing? Coffee machine. Coffee machine at our grad lounge. What do you think about that? We have talked about it, me and Noah. What do you think about it? Kayla?
Traumatic.
Yeah.
Dramatic?
Robbed. Yeah.
Robbed?
Highway robbery.
Robbery. What do you think about it, Grant?
Tired. I mean, just we need it back. We need it back.
We do.
Like
They dangled a bone by having it there and then took the bone away.
absolutely.
Got it.
I go to Starbucks, or I get coffee almost every single time that before I enter this building.
Yeah.
So having it here would have been,
You need caffeine to survive.
you
You
do.
need caffeine
I mean,
to
especially
survive.
because we have late classes too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we
You know,
spend
we're
so
here
much
till 9:30.
time in that grad lounge. Like, I've completely fallen asleep on that couch.
I can feel you. Even I have done that a lot of times now, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
need my coffee machine back.
Yeah.
But yeah, what is the favorite place in school for you? Favorite place of yours?
Ooh.
I want to know that.
I would say the grad lounge,
Okay.
just because that's where we congregate and we're always chatting. So I guess I'm gonna have to say the grad lounge.
Everybody's saying grad lounge. I guess you're also
Grad
going to say
lounge.
that?
Yeah, absolutely grad lounge.
Dude, to be honest, I feel the personal relations we all have built in grad lounge instead of our classes, because in classes we are studying.
Right.
And the relationships we have been building in grad lounge are the most important ones.
Right.
And they're going to be amazing, and they are going to help us out in future as well, the connections we are making at grad lounge.
Yeah.
And this is for all the upcoming students and all the viewers. If you're coming to SHA and if you're coming to Boston University, sit in grad lounge. Don't just go home and
100%.
sit alone in your bedroom. Stay here at school, sit in grad lounge, talk to people. You'll get more networking opportunities. Trust me. And you'll get friends instead of just colleagues.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, definitely. Okay. Next question. Next one. Be be quick about this thing.
What?
What is that? Who's that one professor you want to swap your lives with?
I want to swap lives with.
Yes.
Ooh,
That one professor.
Dr. A.
Dr. Ray?
Yeah.
I guess he's your favorite professor other than Professor Katz.
Because I want to swap lives with him.
No, but I've heard a lot about him from you, but okay.
I mean, I just think because he's so well traveled, he has so much experience.
Oh,
I feel like it'd be cool just to be in his shoes for a day
okay.
or
I
like a year, and I can travel and stuff.
I
But
like that. What about you, Grant?
You know what? I was actually gonna say Dr. A as well. I mean, when he talks about his travels, he
Yeah.
has been everywhere. Also, I think that just his the breadth of experience that he has working with a lot of online travel agencies is very impressive. So
Yeah.
I would love to kind of have some insight into that. So yeah, Dr. A.
Dr. Ray.
yeah.
Dude, the name sounds so, good. Like Doctor Strange and Dr. Ray. He's fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, one student you want to swap your lives with for a day.
Ooh, for a day.
Yeah.
Let's say Joe.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Joe, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. Nice. I like that answer.
Yeah.
What about you, Kayla?
I would have said Mimi, but I've already talked about Mimi, so I think I'm going to say Ebby.
Oh.
Because I genuinely look up to her so much. I think she is just such a cool, well-rounded person, and she is honestly a superhuman. I don't know how she does it. And so I just admire her so much. I would love to just swap lives with her for a day and just
Nice.
get a taste of what it's like to be her.
No, Abby is really, really nice.
Yeah.
And she's from Middle East, and
Yeah.
she has that, thing going on. She's also fashionable.
She is
Yeah,
so fashionable.
she is.
Yes.
Even if I could swap lives with her for 10 minutes to look at her closet, that's all I'd need. She seriously blows me away.
I get it. Okay. One last question from rapid fire round. Okay. And this is the question I asked Noah as well, and he said something which I really didn't like. But
Oh.
does pineapple belong to a pizza or not? I want to know that from you guys.
Yeah.
What?
It does.
Really? You like it?
To the same extent that chicken belongs on pizza, yeah. I mean,
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
What about you,
sorry.
Grant?
I'm gonna have to go with DeVay on this one. I don't think that it belongs on pizza.
Thank God somebody's there with me.
I mean, if you're
just-
at a true Italian restaurant, no, you're not going to get pineapple on the pizza. But if you're just ordering regular pizza from somewhere, if you're going to order a pizza with buffalo chicken or a pizza with sausage, there's got to be one with pineapple.
You can go by my expressions. I'm not liking
I
this
know,
conversation
I know.
anymore.
I'm being
But-
hated on.
But just to let you know, I guess you both know this thing, but for the viewers as well, we talked about pineapple, And I'm going to ask this question to everyone in every podcast. Why? Because not a lot of people know that pineapple is the fruit for hospitality.
Yep.
People don't know that. So that's why I'm asking this question. I love pineapple as a fruit, but it's the fruit of hospitality as well. And that's why I've been asking this question to everyone. And I guess this was the rapid fire round, very short and quick. I didn't know whether you guys liked it or not. You better say that you liked it. Okay?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I know this is
Amazing.
I know. I'll pay you guys for that. I'll pay you guys for that. One last thing for you guys. What advice will you give to someone who's coming to SHA or Boston University or moving to Boston? What advice would you give related to classes or anything? Just give it to me.
I would say just to be proactive and to kind of have a plan. So I would say before you even come to SHA, I would say have some idea of what you want to do or what you want to get out of the program so that when those opportunities arise throughout the course of the semester, you can know to take advantage of them. So
That's good advice.
Yeah, that's something I would say.
I get. I like that thing.
Yeah.
What about you, Kayla? What would you do?
I mean, same thing I've sort of been saying the whole time. Really just put yourself out there. Talk to everybody, whether it's students, professors. They all are upstairs on the third floor in their office hours. Pop in, talk to them. They all have such amazing experiences. Talk to guest speakers, connect on LinkedIn, go to the career fair. Really just like put yourself out there, even when it's a little bit scary and a little bit uncomfortable. Doing that will just like make the worlds of a difference of your experience here.
Yeah.
I get it. Even I'd suggest this thing, and especially for international students, I would say make connections. I've said this before. Make connections, a lot of connections, because me coming from the east side of the world, we are not taught with this thing that make connections. We are always taught that just open your book, study more, and don't interact with people more. I mean, they don't suggest that, but they say this thing that study more and you'll find a good job or a good opportunity. But I have realized this one thing: if you don't have enough connections here, if you don't talk to enough people, you're not making big hair. So talk to people as much as you can. And with this, thank you so much to both of you lovely
Thank
people.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
I know.
I hope you really liked this podcast thing which I'm doing, although I'm doing it for my individual project. But I hope you liked it. Any last words from you guys to this podcast or me, or what is your opinion on this thing? Like, did you like it or something like
No,
that?
I enjoyed it. Honestly, I think that this is a really good resource for people that are considering coming to SHA or even people that are in SHA already.
Yeah.
So yeah, kudos to you for doing this. I know it's a lot of work. So
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yes. Repeating what Grant said. And then, I was so excited when you asked me to come on here, like
Yeah.
genuinely so honored. Because you've been saying pretty much all year how podcasting is so important to you.
Oh, definitely.
And I mean, you're like the perfect person for it. Just like knowing you and how